The spec sheet for a 400-watt plug-in solar kit will tell you this. Save up to 96 pounds a year on your electricity bill. That calculation is arithmetically correct. It is also based on an assumption that almost no UK household actually meets. The real saving for the average home is between 40 pounds and 70 pounds a year. Not because the panel is defective, because the number leaves out three things the manufacturer has no incentive to mention. Here is how plug-in solar actually works. The panel generates DC power. The microinverter converts it to AC at 230 volts and feeds it directly into your home circuit through a standard plug socket. When the sun is generating more electricity than you are consuming at that moment, the surplus flows back into the grid. You do not store it. Under current UK regulations, you do not get paid for it. That is not a footnote. It is the central reason the headline saving is wrong. The 96 pounds figure is calculated like this. A 400-watt panel in a typical UK location generates roughly 350 kilowatt hours per year. Multiply by the current unit rate of approximately 24 pence. 350 times 0.24 is 84 pounds. Add optimistic irradiance assumptions, round up to 96 pounds. That mathematics is correct. What it assumes is that your home consumes every kilowatt hour the panel produces at the exact moment it produces it. That is what self-consumption means, and it is almost never what happens. There are three variables that reduce your real saving below that headline figure. Variable 1, self-consumption. Self-consumption is the percentage of what the panel generates that your home actually uses at that moment. Any production that exceeds your live consumption is exported. For a UK household with a single 400-watt panel and no battery, the measured self-consumption rate is typically 30 to 60%. Let's make that concrete. At a 40% self-consumption rate, you use 140 of your 350 annual kilowatt hours. At 24 pence, that saves you 33 pounds and 60 pence, not 84 pounds. That 40% figure is not pessimistic. It is the average for a household where people are out of the house during daylight hours. A retired homeowner with continuous daytime occupancy can reach 60%. A working household empty from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. will be closer to 30. Variable 2, the export problem. Under current UK rules, plug-in solar systems below 1 kilowatt are not automatically eligible for the Smart Export Guarantee. Even where they are, export rates currently sit at 4 to 5 pence per kilowatt hour. You are importing electricity at 24 pence and exporting it at 5 pence. Every unit you fail to self-consume is not lost. It is sold at a 79% discount. Variable 3, appliance mismatch. A 400-watt panel at peak output generates 400 watts. An LED TV draws 80 to 100 watts, covered. A laptop draws 45 to 65 watts, covered. A washing machine draws 1,000 to 2,000 watts, not covered. An electric shower draws 8,000 to 10,000 watts, not covered. A kettle draws 2,000 to 3,000 watts, not covered. The appliances that cost you the most to run are precisely the ones a single 400-watt panel cannot touch. The panel will quietly offset your background baseload, your router, your fridge, your standby devices. It will not make a measurable difference to your shower, your washing machine, or your oven. Put those three variables into the calculation. 350 kilowatt hours generated annually. At 40% self-consumption, 140 kilowatt hours used, saving 33 pounds and 60 pence. Remaining 210 kilowatt hours exported at 5 pence, 10 pounds and 50 pence, assuming your supplier participates and you have a smart meter. Total annual benefit, approximately 44 pounds. Most marketing for these kits assumes 84 pounds to 96 pounds per year and claims a payback of 1 to 2 years. At 44 pounds a year with a kit costing between 300 pounds and 450 pounds, the honest payback is 7 to 10 years. To reach a 2-year payback, you need to self-consume around 80 to 90% of production. That requires a battery, above-average daytime occupancy, and typically more than one panel. The 2 to 4 year payback figure that better manufacturers quote is achievable, but it requires specific conditions. It is not the default outcome for a single panel kit plugged in by someone who leaves the house at 8 a.m. That is not a conservative estimate. That is what the numbers produce when you use the actual inputs instead of the ideal ones. There is a version of plug-in solar where the numbers work. Three conditions need to be true simultaneously. Condition 1, daytime occupancy. Someone is at home drawing power during peak solar generation hours. If your house is empty from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., your self-consumption rate will sit below 35% and the economics do not stack up. If you work from home or have continuous daytime occupancy, this condition is met. Condition 2, 3 to 6 panels, not one. A single 400-watt panel is too small to meaningfully shift a UK household's consumption. The economics improve significantly at 1.5 to 2.4 kilowatts of capacity, 3 to 6 panels on a multi-channel microinverter system. At that scale, you begin to supply genuine daytime baseload. Self-consumption rates improve. The payback period drops toward 2 to 4 years. Condition 3, battery on the roadmap. Without storage, the export problem persists regardless of system size. A small 1 to 2 kilowatt-hour home battery transforms a 40% self-consumption rate into upward of 80%. That single change is worth more to your annual saving than doubling the number of panels. If battery storage is not part of the plan, the economics of plug-in solar remain marginal for most UK households. Here is the honest summary. Plug-in solar is not a scam. The hardware works. The physics is straightforward. In the UK, with a single panel and no battery, the realistic annual saving is £35 to £70. Payback is 5 years or more, not 1 to 2. That may still be worth it to you, but the decision should be based on the real figure. Before you buy, 3 questions. Is someone home during daylight hours to consume what the panel generates? Are you planning to install at least 3 panels rather than 1 or 2? And is battery storage part of the plan within the next 2 years? If the answer to all 3 is yes, the numbers start to work. If the answer to any of them is no, you are buying a panel that will save you less than the brochure suggests, and you should know that before you spend anything.